All right, live on the podcast broadcast. We're joined by a full crew this Wednesday. This is the last show of the week because I'm taking the next 2 days off to make it a 5-day weekend for my daughter's graduation tonight. I'm going to be raging for that, and that's going to be fun. And please welcome, we got Lindy in studio from Thunder Bacon Burger Company. Todd Marlie is joining us. Rico, of course. A little bit, we're going to have Shane from Tucson Foodie joining us too. And we're kind of on this narrative or this conversation about, restaurants getting shut down. And a lot of them were shut down locally as well. So I got Shane. Shane, you're muted right now, but it should
What's
be.
up?
Oh, there we go. Good morning. How you doing, bud?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, and so Shane and Lindy and myself, we're all going to be at the Pizza Throwdown on Monday. They don't know that too. I'm just going to sneak in. But
Is that Lindy? Hi, Lindy.
Hi, how are you doing, Shane?
Yes.
Good man.
we want to talk about a lot of stuff, right? We'll touch base on the Pizza Throwdown. But we were talking about the real reason why Red Lobster filed for Chapter 11.
I heard about this.
Yeah,
He's laughing. Like those bastards.
well, it's not the endless. Did you hear about the endless shrimp thing or the?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're blaming it publicly on the endless shrimp promotion, but privately, what is being said is that it sold off their land in a merger years ago, and then the landowners then went back and raised the rent on them. And put them out of business.
Wow, which is the number one reason most restaurants fail. It's like the thing everyone jumps to when they hear about a restaurant. They're like, landlord problem.
Yeah.
So I get to laugh because we support local business, and I'm not a big fan of big corporate chains, but I do like those butter biscuits.
Cheddar Bay.
Cheddar Bay biscuits. I mean, they are.
Everybody.
That is.
You mean Cheddar Bay?
That's Americana right there.
All I see is an opportunity to take a recipe and improve upon it.
Yeah.
But
Thunder Bay biscuits.
I also have a conspiracy theory of Long John Silver's is doing this, and they're mounting a massive comeback.
What are they doing?
I don't know.
They're waiting in the shadows.
Yeah.
They're the ones putting them out of business.
They've been in Casa Grande with that one, just making everybody travel there, and secretly destroying Red Lobster.
Yes, and they're just waiting, and that will be.
I like how it's all maritime related too. It's not anybody.
And honestly, with the price of fast food going up the way it is, it will be considered fine dining here soon. You know what I mean? That's like essentially that is your new date night spot. Long John Silver's, be like, it's our anniversary. We'll go to Long John Silver's because it's going to cost me half a month's rent for this combo meal.
Yeah, I keep seeing the what was the movie for Restaurant Wars where Taco Bell won?
Oh, Demolition Man.
Demolition Man.
Love it.
So everybody's like, it's all going to be Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it is becoming true. So, we were talking about local restaurants that announced that they're closing this week. There was two right off the top of my head, Magpies and Monsoons. What other restaurants that begin with M shut down locally this week here, Shane?
You put me on the spot. I don't know what.
Well, we're not on the air yet. We're just on the podcast. I'm
like
just
reading TucsonFoodie.com. I'm like,
The alphabet.
What did I do?
M.
Yeah, all the M restaurants, right? But no, I mean, as
Mickey's.
a coincidence there as far as the those restaurants, Magpie and Monsoon. And Monsoon was kind of a surprise to me because in the area that Monsoon's is located at, I lived in that area, and there isn't too many options as far as places to go and eat. There's a couple chains around there, but as far as to grab a drink, they had a full bar, they had a nice little patio, and food was decent. So I thought for the most part it was like a neighborhood bar and grill that could easily sustain based off the surrounding area, but that obviously wasn't the case after 10 years. Something happened after I moved. Was it because I moved?
Where am I going to get drunk before I go to Costco now?
I know. I know.
That's great.
Right? Sure. I don't think you can drink in their parking lot. At least they don't want you to. So
know that for fact.
We can maybe tailgate before you go in.
I hang with the sample lady enough times. She's got a little flask back there. I'm like, what's up, girl?
There's been a lot of closures, and I think we're going to see a lot more over the next 12 to 18 months, unfortunately.
Yeah, summer is going to be a tough one.
Really? You think it's going to be a tidal wave, huh? Like, why? What makes it so bad? Just food costs?
Well, there's a bunch of trends there's some legislation happening. It's going to increase minimum wage. There's different legislation that's going to impact salaried workers in restaurants. and just increase ingredients, increase rent. The 10% margin that restaurants typically enjoyed, Lindy backed me up on this, is now down to like 1%. So like restaurant owners they're not paying themselves. And so like something's got to give. And it seems like all these numbers are just going to tick up a little bit more. And pretty soon when you're losing money, it's like, well, I can't stay in business. So like
it's
too many things are converging. And I think unfortunately it's going to be Taco Bell.
Don't you dare.
No,
I'm worried.
I agree with that. There's a lot of factors there. I mean, I absorb, almost, 70 plus hours a week on top of the guys in my kitchen, just so I can draw a paycheck, and I pay myself $10 an hour.
Right. Yeah.
So it's, instead of a salary, so I don't have to, take out of that percentage that, it's small. It's definitely not 10% anymore.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's tough. So I mean, what has to change to make it like viable again, honestly? Because that's scary, because I mean, that's the one thing that's always kind of pushed the restaurant industry forward, is people got to eat. People always got to eat, no matter what the scenario is, right?
I mean, there's some restaurants that are like catering, like some restaurants have launched catering and have had success with that, higher margins. Some restaurants are just really successful, like La Chingada downtown and the neighborhood. They're just money machines because of location and demographic. So either have a really successful restaurant concept, find a way to supplement your revenue through other streams like catering, or expand and do a charo and have multiple locations and then like a commissary kitchen so you can have higher margins. I don't know what else to do, or close, or sell.
Yeah. Well, speaking of charo, I was talking to Ray Flores recently, and he was talking about this legislation that's attempted to be pushed about ghost kitchens, where anyone could basically set up a ghost kitchen and then have their food delivered on DoorDash. But the reason why he hates this, many reasons. One of it's like, hey, I spent a lot of fucking money on insurance and everything else to be part of the health board. And if you're going to just approve any dipshit to be able to make anything in their kitchen and not worry about foodborne illness and temperature quality or any of that, not only is that unsafe, but that's going to take away from my business when I have to spend all these extra costs just to be legally able to serve food to the public.
Does DoorDash have any safe stops on that at all? They don't have any vetting process?
No, I mean, he's and he's right about that. There's I believe as right now it's a cottage license.
Yeah.
I'm not fully, up on that. I've never even tried to get one, but it's just like I see places on Facebook that are just like, yo, I'm jamming this out in my kitchen tonight.
Yeah. Right.
Some of it actually, looks fire, but it's also, yes, we adhere to certain, standards that might not be happening there.
Yeah.
And that's just like if you have hundreds of them, it does take a percentage of, and I'm not saying like somebody shouldn't be enterprising. They all have to start somewhere, but that's,
it's like legislation, and the way that the trend is going is they're trying to turn everybody into gig workers, right? And street vendors. So I'm like, this sounds like Mexico to me. I was talking to Ray. I'm like, it sounds like Mexico. Anybody could just set up a fucking taco shop, right? Or a little cart. And it's like that. That's great. But at the end of the day,
gamble.
It does take away from establishments like Lindy's, who has to spend all this extra money to be a restaurant, and then also follow all these rules and procedures that these ghost kitchens won't have to do,
right?
Which so makes it more dangerous for the consumer, right? Which people they're not even considering that. I don't know. B, it just takes away from our restaurant industry even more.
Well, and if they have to, I mean, there are ghost kitchens here, and they are, they have the same rules as we do in the kitchen, and they get checked by the health board, but usually they're like, what are the cloud kitchens? They're places like that.
Yeah.
So if this goes into what it sounds like to be able to do it out of your home, well, then you should be subject to being, checked by the health board.
Yeah.
Which right now they're strapped.
Right.
So there's no way this is going to be,
not easy by any means.
Yeah. So,
I know.
I mean, I'm all for, if it's on par of what I have to do,
right,
then so should you. And if obviously your costs will be way less because you're doing it somewhere else, but you should have to adhere to the same safeties and everything that we employ and regulate.
You would hope so. You would hope that'd be
Well,
the case.
I was going to say, you would hope that would be enough to sway people towards your business, is because of the safety and regulation factors.
Yeah,
some people are just like, I want to go buy some random salsa from some guy.
But also, I'm not out there trying to say like, hey, what you're doing is dangerous, because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I've ordered a couple things and it was just really good.
Yeah.
So, but it's also, I'm just like, wow, you should be doing this on a grander scale. It's amazing.
That's true. All right, let's get on the air here real quick. Rock 102.1 KFMA. That's Sleep Theory, and we are back here live on the podcast broadcast. Got a whole crew here, joined by Shane from Tucson Foodie. Good morning, Shane.
Good morning, Beef.
We're talking food. We're talking restaurant culture. We're talking possible litigation, and some of our favorite restaurants here locally that has shut down. We have a lot to cover with Shane from TucsonFoodie.com, which we will do right after new music from Billy Morrison and Ozzy Osbourne. It's Crack Cocaine. Yeah, that's the name of this song. It's a feel-good song that just added to heavy rotation. Play it for your kids and then explain to them what it is. We'll be back with more. You can join us youtube.com/beefvegan.
And it's what Long John Silver's is a front for.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
I don't know, man. The batter's good.
Not gonna lie. Good batter.
So Shane, we were talking about the R&D event that Lindy's going to be doing here in August with Tucson Foodie. That's going to be good. Now we have on Monday, we have the pizza throwdown that we'll talk about. And then what else do you want to talk about here on this segment next?
Let's see. Let's hype the pizza throwdown for sure and help them out.
Yeah, the pizza throwdown's good always.
I'm so looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm not eating on Sunday.
Well, join us.
So I'm
scared.
Why are you scared?
Too much pizza.
Well, that'll be a little bitch. Take a little bites.
What is wrong with you? There's no such thing as too much.
I just had a
pizza.
slice of Rocco's 2 days ago, and I'm already like still.
First off, that was yesterday.
Oh yeah, felt like 2 days ago.
and you took the whole thing home, so I know you ate more than one slice.
I go to Rocco's and I text an apology to my doctor for what I'm about to do, because I just go smash his pizza. It's
I'm
so
sorry.
And Monica wrote on the stream, Thunder Bacon Burger Company is delicious. My office orders from here almost every Friday.
Hey.
Yeah, so that's what she said there on the stream. You see Monica. So
with the drooly
Monica,
emoji and all.
you.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
She's not lying. She ain't lying. That's for sure. And we were talking about ghost kitchens, and Todd just stepped out of the building, or the room, but I'm like, he should probably open up a ghost kitchen for his jerky. We were salivating.
I love how we're talking about the whole time. Todd's like, I know. I'm a ghost kitchen.
I'm a ghost kitchen.
I'm a ghost
jerky
kitchen.
Ghost kitchen.
Yeah.
Well, and then it's like, what is then like during the pandemic, there were kitchens.
Yeah.
Let's say if I was open in 2020, there were places that were on like DoorDash that were running like 5-6 different names of whatever, I literally out of the same kitchen.
Was it?
Well, that's what Ken did. With Dante's Fire.
What was the one with Chuck E. Cheese? Didn't they like have a different pizza name for?
Yes,
that was
Chuck
funny.
E. Cheese did it to sell pizza, but Ken did it with sexy grilled cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, but that was like his food truck too.
Yeah,
so he just moved it into which was smart.
Yeah, into the kitchen and did that. But yeah, it was like he was saying with Chuck E. Cheese,
like Charles Pizza Company or something.
they came up with alias names and were selling their pizza through various names.
Well, and that was the other thing was some of the corporate places were doing very local sounding places.
Yeah,
and then just kind of changing names and stuff, but it was all coming from the same
a
place.
shell company.
So
well, there was
essentially
literally a shell
and
company.
I think that's like, if you're going to do something completely different, maybe rearrange some of your menu items to make something new. And then, sure, that's great.
Right.
So, and I think they're getting a little better at vetting who can be a ghost kitchen.
Right.
But I think the process was almost as easy as being an Uber driver. And there was a guy who went viral for selling frozen pizzas. And and that would have DoorDash that. And so he would basically bake the frozen pizzas for him and put it in a pizza box and everything. And have people boop boop.
Hey, it's not
Red Baron.
It's a DiGiorno.
Yeah, it was nice. They Squared Up Pizza did go out. I
delivery.
gotta talk to Patrick actually, because Squared Up, that was the rent in the Park Place Mall that did Patrick in, and he was consistently busy. He was building it up. He was out there hustling.
The mall leases are difficult.
Brutal.
They're generated on percentages.
Mhm.
So the better you're doing, the more you pay. That's a tough one.
Yeah, it is. All right, let's get on here. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. We're hanging out here on the podcast broadcast. We got Lindy from Thunder Bacon Burger Company and Shane from TucsonFoodie.com. And, Shane's on because him and Lindy are both, I'm going to say, are you guys going to be judges for this pizza throwdown that's happening on Monday?
No, we're just going to go eat as much pizza as possible.
Yeah. Just I'm going to be fat and happy.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite events of the year. It's just such a good event. It's good vibes. I mean, you just go in and you just eat lots of interesting pizza. Some of it's really innovative. Some of it's the classics. And you just drink beer at Fresco and have a good time. It's fun.
You just rub your belly the whole time.
Oh, yeah. I was belly rubbing the whole time. I was there last year, and he's not lying. It was fantastic. And some of our favorite pizza vendors are all in town, are participating at this at Fresca. What do you know about this year's vendors and what's happening for the Pizza Throwdown?
Well, a lot of the same classics are coming out. You got Zio Pepe, Fresco. But there's a couple of new ones coming out. I know that I just heard yesterday that Elliot's is going to be there, and I don't think they participated last year. And they're doing a collaborative pizza with Saffron Indian Bistro, and it's going to be like some kind of a Thai or not Thai, some kind of Indian flavor pizza collaboration.
Really?
Something. So I'm excited for that.
Rocco was just in yesterday for Rocco's Little Chicago, right? And he actually has a chicken tikka pizza, which is pizza of the month that we had yesterday.
So good.
So he's again ahead of the curve a little bit, but yeah, I wonder if he's going to bring that pizza as well for his throwdown, and they could have an Indian pizza throw. Like
there better be a Bollywood dance involved with it. That's all I'm saying.
I love
funny you say that, because the owner of Elliot's is opening a food truck, and he's calling it Bollywood Pizza Company.
Really?
And it's all Indian inspired pizza stuff. Yeah.
Is that who's? Aren't they one of the ones that they're going to be there on Monday? I think that was one of the. Because I was like, oh, who is that? Oh, sweet.
That's what he's saying. Okay,
Yeah,
so
right.
that's going to be
Nice.
interesting, and the first time that you could try this concept out, which is a concept, let's say the very least. So Indian food that is infused and with pizza. Pizza, like Indian food inspired pizza. I've never heard of that before, with the exception of yesterday. So again, maybe that's the latest pizza trend.
Blew me away.
I guess it's a trend.
Huh?
We got a whole truck
here for it.
dedicated to it. So
Have you
it's a
ever
really
had anything
beautiful
like
truck.
that, Lindy?
Yeah, actually, so Jimmy from Indian Twist and I were working on something a couple years ago where we were using the
You were too ahead of your time.
the non-bread actually as the crust, and so we were at his restaurant till like midnight or 1 making these pizzas, and it was amazing.
This is crazy because Indian food is notoriously, they don't do cheese, right? Because they also don't do cows. They, in India,
Right.
they don't mess with cows at all. They revere them. So it is interesting that they're finally taking these flavors, or we are anyways, and besmirching like their whole culture and be like, F you, this cheese is amazing. Let's try it and infuse that.
Well, and if you think like with something like a tikka masala, if you add cheese on it, it's not a lot. It's already really rich and creamy. So
That's what we did. That was yesterday, dude.
The cheese adds a little something, but to me, you don't put that much cheese on it because there's just so
Don't sell that to Rocco, dude.
say,
He murdered 3 cows. to
That
make
cheese pool was like 20 seconds long, dude.
Yeah.
you know what? If he had a cheese crust with a cheese sauce and cheese on cheese and then pepperoni cheese, I'd eat that.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Rocco's currently in the kitchen working on that. Who are some other
So-
vendors on this pizza throwdown, Shane?
Well, we got Dante's Fire, Upper Crust Pizza, Rocco's, of course, Fresco, Zio Pepe, Mama's. It's going to be the Gourmet Girls are throwing down. Don't forget, this isn't just the pizza throwdown. This is the pizza and dessert throwdown.
Right, yeah.
There's going to be lots of delicious desserts to try. And I know that Barrio Brewing and Moto Sonora are going to be providing all the beer. Bailey's Artisan Pizza Company, they're going to be throwing down.
That's a new one for me.
I've never had that.
Bailey's.
I can't wait. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard of Bailey's either as far as pizza's concerned.
Trident will be there.
Okay, yeah. Well, Trident
And
needs to
Bollywood.
represent. I mean, they have a pizza pub, so
It's good pie.
yeah. That'll be interesting. Last year, the winner was Zio Pepe for the pizza with their birria pizza, which was amazing.
Ooh.
And then Dante's always wins the dessert category. So they're gonna try to do that again. But yeah, it's decadent, dude. You're talking tons of great samples of all these delicious pizza concepts, and they are concepts and original ideas, and of course beer to wash it all down, and then desserts to top it off. And that's at Fresco, which is happening on Monday, Memorial Day. Or what's the times on that?
6 o'clock. It'll last for like 2 or 3 hours, so 6 to 8 or 6 to 9.
That's a little bit later, which is good too.
Yeah, so it's dinner, and if you don't know where Fresco's at, it's 3011 East Speedway. Not too far from Casa Video.
It sounds way better than Coachella to me.
I'm telling you, dude. It's such a good time. People are walking around. They got a good spread. Of course, you're just eating all this delicious pizza, talking to people, and getting your mind blown because again, you're seeing combinations where you're like, oh, I didn't even think about having this for a pizza. Amazing.
Shane's better than me. I would have been like, starts at 6:30, so I can have half hour.
I get to go at 5 actually. I get to go. Yeah, I know. Hey,
well, guess what? I'm showing up at 5 too, like honorary judge status. Like I'll be there. They don't even know, but I'll be there.
Well, that's what you do. You just walk into places like you should be there. That's what you're.
That's what I did last year. That's what. I'm not saying that on the air. You guys can't do that. They don't know who you are. This guy, he's got his face on his logo, so it works.
Just wear a hard hat and a vest. It works every time.
All right. Next week we're gonna have Shane and Hannah talk about the vegan market, which is gonna be on the 1st, and it's even bigger and better than ever. We're wrapping up the conversation here on the FM side. We'll be back with more right after music from Skillet, but you could join us youtube.com/beefvegan on the podcast broadcast. Clear. I know you got a busy day or whatever. I don't know. But yes, next week, of course, next Friday, we'll be talking with Hannah. Are you going to come in with Hannah?
Yeah, I'll come in. It'll be the two of us.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Oh, there's only 30 tickets left, of course. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll catch up again soon.
Loves pizza.
I'm going to be out for a long weekend, but I'll see you on Monday. And I'll be tagging along like you invited me. So.
Great. I'll see everybody there.
What the hell?
What the hell? How'd you do that, dude?
You wizard?
Or we can do the fireworks.
Oh,
what the fuck?
He's looking at the year 20, 30,005.
Yeah, dude, what program are you using? Let's see this.
It didn't work that time. Maybe at least you have to spread them out a little bit. So you just do one thumbs and you get the little bubble. And then you got to wait for that to kind of go away. And then you can do the double thumbs. And you get the fireworks.
I feel like a caveman.
They need to do one for jazz fingers.
Yeah, what's the program?
Pop up.
I don't know. StreamYard? StreamYard does this.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm not getting anywhere.
Damn it.
Maybe it's just me.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I think that is just you. Did it tell you?
White background, it's really clear.
That's great.
All right, fine. Let's see.
It's gonna be half an hour of us just doing this. Like,
give
how?
us a thumbs up, guys.
How?
Keep it there. Move it away from your face so you can tell the difference. Nope,
because I'm not on an iPhone.
You got stubby.
Are you on an iPhone? Is it because you're on your iPhone? It's
no, I'm not on an iPhone. No,
I got nothing.
What streaming thing are you on? What mods did you download?
Dude,
Don't lie to us.
I just logged into StreamYard through my browser. I'm not using Zoom or anything.
We're going to look into this for the next 40 minutes. Hold on.
I'm going to be hosting the rest of the show like this.
Where's my fireworks?
I'm not on a phone.
It's your phone.
I'm not on a phone. Here's my phone. It's right here. I'm not using it.
You got multiple phone money. Don't even.
I don't.
What are you on? Are you on a tablet?
Yeah.
I think if you had more of a white background. I'm just on my computer. I'm on a Mac. But I'm just logged in through Chrome.
Are you from the
browser?
future?
So.
Oh,
Are you on Earth right now?
No, it's cool. All right, we will learn something new every day. Now, before you sign off, Shane, give me the double thumbs up one last time, and then are you signing off?
Yeah, woo,
yeah,
that's awesome.
Shane, Tucson Foodie, you still there? That would have been an epic exit.
That would have been epic.
Smoke bomb. You want me to smoke bomb?
Yeah.
I love it.
One last time again, the epic exit. Yeah. There he goes. Shane, Tucson Foodie.
Into a portal.
Amazing. Damn, I didn't even know that.
Let's just end the show now. That was perfect.
Now we still got 36 more minutes, but
I know.
Yeah, that was impressive, and that's the fun thing about StreamYard is they're constantly doing new stuff. So I learned something new today. And next time anyone pops in remotely, remember those two things, and then you have to sign off with the double thumbs up fireworks, because
I guarantee the next time I see that, I'm going to be all, oh, I didn't even know about that. That's crazy. I'll forget about it.
I know it happens. But all right, so there was the restaurant rundown of everything that was happening locally and nationally. So we kind of got to the bottom of it, or at least speculating. But the rent just doesn't affect the restaurants. It's obviously affecting people as well. So they have to figure out a way to intervene to make sure that shit doesn't continue to get out of hand. But it is getting out of hand. Did you guys see the viral photograph of The Rock yesterday?
No.
Okay,
Isn't
so
every photograph of him viral?
No.
Is he getting naked like John Cena and walking around?
Don't you wish? So here's the deal. The Rock. Oh my God, dude! I just put The Rock in Twitter, and then it's a gay orgy called The Rock Bottom was the first thing that pulled up. Oh my!
Wow!
I've seen way too much penis.
Your algorithm just
on
changed
Twitter. No, as soon as I just put The Rock in, that's not what I wanted. Okay, let me recap here. Okay, so The Rock recently announced that he is trying to make movies of substance, movies that matter, and he's doing so because he really has to save his movie career. The last 5-10 years have been these fluff blockbuster flops in so many words. And then recently he even has bad press coming out about his work ethic, saying he's showing up so late for movies.
What was the time? Like an hour late?
No, it was 12 hours
12
late.
hours
Yeah,
late.
Ryan
Jesus.
Reynolds allegedly had major beef with The Rock shooting The Red something for Netflix, and it inflates budgets just based off of his legendarily tardy and inconsiderate behavior, right? Because it's The Rock. He's doing a million different things. He shows up when he shows up.
Right.
So to know that, okay, after Black Adam and all these other bombs, these string of bombs, he still wants to be a successful actor at heart. So he decided to pivot in his next role and play something serious, right? Get some critical acclaim, as a lot of Hollywood actors do. And he linked up with Benji Safdie. Benji is one of the Safdie brothers, is Joel and Benji. They've directed a bunch of movies, most notably Adam Sandler in the movie Hustle.
Uncut Gems?
Well, let me finish saying Hustle, and then yes, and then also
I didn't know he did another one.
Yes.
Hustle's excellent. So is Uncut Gems.
Yes, and Uncut Gems, right? So, but now Benji also was just in a Showtime series, and they separated. Joel and Benji are done, right? For now. And Benji is now directing this biopic about Mark Hunt, UFC legend, Mark Hunt. And is it Mark Hunt? Because I feel like I'm just saying Mike Hunt.
I think it might be Mike. Yeah.
It's not Mike.
Okay.
It's definitely Mark.
Say it faster together.
Okay, let me just put in Rock and not The Rock, and then see if
Dwayne.
Now you're just
Dwayne.
geology.
I would I'd say, even though he's had some flops, his check's still cashed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he still did fantastic when it came to his I'll just do
Scorpion King still slaps.
No, when it came to WrestleMania. Well, yes. Yeah, that movie's
I
so
just can't
classic.
stand. I mean, it was CGI was in an infancy.
So bad.
At that
Like
point.
PS2 graphics.
Yeah. But I liked it.
Yeah.
Except for that part. I was like, come on.
Let's see. I'm pulling it up right here. Just give me 2 seconds as I find one of the locations. It's at the picture went viral because you can't tell it's The Rock. And
seems so impossible.
yes, right? Somebody so fucking famous as The Rock.
And you can't tell it's him.
And
Gigantic.
You're gonna see it. You're gonna see it. Hold on. God, if I pull this up, where the fuck are you?
I was surprised to see his return to wrestling.
No, I know. And like I said, he
The
did
final
really,
boss.
He did really good.
Well, I'm sure they paid him a ridiculous amount, and also him coming back really deflects on what's been happening with the owner, ex-owner.
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean, it was a good
So-
time for him to come back for his career and it was a good idea
Yeah.
for everybody involved.
Right.
You got the normies involved.
Yeah.
A lot
And
more.
of course, he's it's just straight like what Hulk Hogan did. He's coming back as kind of a bad guy, kind of revitalizing the.
Or Garth Brooks as Chris Gaines.
So, oh my
Yeah.
god.
Total rebrand.
Yeah, is that like a rock star midlife crisis?
It has to be.
No, they already have the fast cars, so they have to just,
Emo hair.
It was at the time. Yeah. His God damn it. I'm trying to get the full picture here.
For something that's gone viral,
star.
it's funny. It's just like hard to find now because everybody's using it for something else.
Well, because I put it in the rock and I saw like 5 different pictures of dick.
You saw rods.
Yeah, I did not. Okay. So here's the best example. Okay, so it's called Smashing. Mark Kerr. I'm sorry, Mark Kerr was the name. So it's called The Smashing Machine. That's what they're gonna call this movie. Okay. And Mark Kerr, if you followed UFC from the inception, you remember this guy. He was jacked. He looked like a professional wrestler and just an all-around badass. Here's a picture of Mark Kerr, right?
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Now, this is before the UFC did weight classes, before they tested for steroids. But Mark Kerr was a legendary shoot fighter, boxer, and then mixed martial artist before it was mixed martial arts. So The Rock wanting to play this guy makes sense because A, you got the body type for it to a certain extent. And B, his impressive legacy with combat sports and being one of the godfathers of combat sports. So with prosthetics, there was only one picture released of this movie, The Smashing Machine, that The Rock is going to star in. And it's this picture right here. That's The Rock.
Really?
Wow.
Yes.
Damn.
Yes.
Good makeup job.
Yeah, and the fact that you
That's
could
creepy.
take prosthetics and make the world's most recognizable movie star unrecognizable is mind-blowing. Now, the body type and everything else, that's all the same.
insane.
Yes, but insane. So this is why it went viral
Wow.
and people are freaking out because, because Mark Kerr, again, I don't even know what the hell he is, to be honest with you, but, he's kind of
Big.
Anglo.
His traps have traps.
Well, The Rock is
Dude,
African American
Nope.
and Samoan, right? So he's mixed. And Mark Kerr, I think he might be mixed too, but he had he also, I always thought he was like a white dude, like a tan white dude.
Mhm.
And so when The Rock was announced as the casting in this, I was just like, well, that's going to be difficult, interesting to pull off, or maybe we're just going to be like, hey, this is my portrayal and it's all inclusive.
I think it's impressive they got rid of the Rock's tattoo.
I was gonna
going down
say,
his
yeah, you
arm
can see
and
that
then
whole
yeah.
That's just
tattoo.
like standing in a airspray booth and doing a circle there, getting just the whole body at
Yep.
once.
That happens. Yeah, that
I
happens
think-
for all his movies.
I think he's got the body except for the neck. So that Mark's neck.
They ran
is-
out of budget for that
Because
for the
he
prosthetics.
has a neck.
Yeah. Well,
Look
so
at that.
yeah, that's
Look at
that's a leg.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting because you look at like Colin Farrell from the Batman. And,
Yeah,
like
okay.
he's still semi-recognizable. You can still see behind the mask a little bit. That one just looks, you can't even tell.
That's impressive.
Can't even tell.
That's
Yeah.
That is
wild.
impressive.
Yeah, so the person that's behind it was also, I'm trying to recall this. I was reading up on it yesterday, but an award-winning makeup artist, obviously in prosthetics. And if I could recall the movies, you'd be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like super impressive catalog of work. So yeah, they took this again, and were they able to do this movie magic? And that was just a still from the shot, and you're looking at it, the overall tone of just the cinematography, how dark it looks like it'll be good. I mean, I am on the fence of how good it's going to be because this is the Safdie brothers' first solo. This is Benji's first solo directing film, and for whatever reason, these brothers kind of like are broken up. And historically speaking, that necessarily hasn't worked out for filmmaking duos,
The Coen brothers are like, yeah, that's right, break up.
right?
We'll
But see,
take
like
this.
the Coen brothers, they can't go solo, right?
Right.
And so
Joel,
historically
Ethan.
speaking, it hasn't necessarily worked out like that. It'll be interesting to see Benji. He's going out on his own, but yeah, you see this. It kind of reminds you of like the wrestler meets that
Iron Claw, maybe a little bit.
Iron Claw, maybe, but Iron Claw was a bust. I don't even get me started.
Oh,
But the Clint Eastwood boxing movie.
$1 Million Baby.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So let's get on here. Did I tell you why I don't like Iron Claw?
I'm curious. You were so about it.
I was so about the idea of Iron Claw and the story of the Von Erich brothers,
Mhm.
right? But casting 100% ruined that movie for me because Zac Efron had to play the lead because it's Zac Efron. But Zac Efron should have played the supporting actor that Jeremy Allen White played, which was the role of Carrie Von Erich.
He definitely looked more like Carrie Von Erich.
Just straight up looked like
Yeah.
Carrie Von Erich, dude. In fact, actually, if you were just like, hey, we're gonna do a Carrie Von Erich like biopic, who should star in it? You're like probably Zac Efron.
Right.
Because he's got that kind of butcher face, kind of like, he's super tan.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like looks dumb, but good looking.
Again, another prosthetics, they looked flawless on him. So
right on Zac Efron,
the jawline, and so
I think that was plastic
Facial
surgery. Honestly,
reconstruction?
yes,
What was already happening with him? Right?
Yeah. So what happened allegedly is that he was running in his house with socks. Zac Efron
and he smashed his face.
smashed his face, and that's why he looks different. And I think it's something more nefarious than that, but we won't get into that conspiracy theory. I think he was partying too hard and somebody rocked him. I think he messed up. I think that's the true story.
We're not going to get into it though.
But let's just dabble a little bit.
But okay, but back to the Iron Claw, because the Iron Claw is released on Max right now, right?
Yeah.
And of course, it had all this buzz. And did you guys watch it?
I still haven't. I got to find myself in the mood, I guess.
That's not video games.
I liked it. I liked it for the nostalgia trip. I mean, that was like really early into wrestling for me.
Yeah,
I don't know how. Like,
the problem is it's a 2-hour movie, right? But it's too much of a story to be able to tell in 2 hours. So what they do is they kind of fast forward in ways where you're kind of like trying to have to fill in the blanks. They completely cut out a brother altogether.
Right.
And so the
sister,
the casting took me out of it. The story, the quickness of like, hey, here's this guy. Oh, and then he died. And then here's this guy. Oh, that guy died too.
Right.
And it's like, aren't you going to tell the story or paint the picture? But the problem is you cram it all in such a small space. It's like you're skipping ahead.
Do you think it might have made a good miniseries?
Yeah, it would have made a great miniseries. And I've seen the documentary on the Von Erichs and World Class Championship Wrestling. So I was excited about seeing this because it is a modern day Shakespearean tragic tale of a family that seemed utterly cursed, but really all came back to the trauma that they experienced through the father who experienced trauma by losing his son.
Right.
It was the father that effed up all these guys so much that they ended up all dying at early ages. And it's just like this residual trauma. And that's
their undying loyalty to his vision.
Yeah.
At the detriment to themselves at some point. And then, where everybody has something happen to them except for the one that really,
Yeah,
it does sound like a great tragedy.
It does,
right down the line, like for real.
At one point, here's another example. So Carrie Von Erich legendarily got into a motorcycle accident, right, and lost his foot. His foot was amputated, and then he went on to be in the WWF as the Red Rooster. I did not know at the time the Red Rooster only had one foot. You could barely even tell, right? Or couldn't tell. At all. I mean, his gimmick, his finishing move was literally he's the Texas Tornado. He would, or he's not the Red Rooster. He was the Texas Tornado. He would put out his arms and spin around in a circle. Try doing that with one foot, dude.
Didn't he eventually take the title from,
yeah, he won the Intercontinental Championship. Well, he won the NWA Championship from Ric Flair.
Yeah.
But the way they have it in the movie is they're like, he won it. And then he went on a motorcycle ride and then lost his foot. That's not how that worked out. There was so much story, such sadder story that happened in between that. And again, that Iron Claw to me was like watching a movie on fast forward. And that's why I didn't like it.
I felt that towards the end, like they got it. And then right when everything was really happening and they're all blowing up, they really just started cramming it all in.
Yeah, dude.
When really a lot of the story was when they were making that switch and things were getting bigger and the WWF and like all that stuff. And
yeah,
I feel like that
missed opportunity
was the meat of some of the meat of the story that was missed for sure.
Yeah. There's the same reason why I didn't like Straight Outta Compton with the story about NWA.
Yeah.
Is because they did such a fantastic job telling the origins in the beginning of Straight Outta Compton. And then they buzzed through the death row years, right? They were pew, because they didn't have the licensing for that, which I can understand, but there was so much story that needed to be told. And they're like, this happened. And then yada, 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 this happened.
Couple songs got made. Nothing really important.
Right. Like, whoa.
It was like a title screen with like 2 paragraphs.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So, all right. We are live on the podcast broadcasting and out with Lindy from Thunder Bacon Burger Company. We have more coming up after music from Disturbed. You can join us, youtube.com/beefvegan.
I do love how we circle back to that movie continuously over like 3 months times.
Who
Just us in general. It always comes back to Iron Claw. Let's talk about the Van Eriks again.
Well, we did have a little bit of viral success talking about the casting, just because the casting was so selfish. It was just such a selfish, stupid casting decision.
Yeah,
I wanted to see more about the Freebirds. I mean, they were like the first really, clash of
who were they? Like
the family, so it was always the Von Erichs against the Freebirds.
So that was like the Hatfields McCoy type thing.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
and so
they're amazing.
They were kind of in there, but
but no, they that rivalry was legendary, put it on the map. And even with Ric Flair, they only touched on Ric Flair, and apparently there was even in the movie Iron Claw, they try to portray the fact that they felt Ric Flair was responsible for David's death, right? The oldest brother. And there was resentment there, but even that was implied briefly and then like overshot in a way.
Right.
So yeah, like the buzz around it, once I saw it, because I waited to see it for free because I missed seeing it in the theaters, but I did want to. But again, the casting kind of took me out of it, so I waited. And when I saw it on the streaming service, then not only was the casting annoyance, I got mad at the storytelling, and I'm like, how did this get so much buzz? With the exception of, can't believe this was a true story. That's crazy. But the rest of it, I'm like, this seems like shitty storytelling to me.
Interesting.
I think it's funny is 2 days later on Facebook, the video of when he won against Ric Flair, like at WrestleMania, was on my phone. And I've never like looked at anything like that, or and I'm just like, I'm like they're always watching.
Really.
It is here, woo, in your pocket. You're like, how did they?
I'm just gonna leave my phone in the bedroom when I watch movies. So.
It's weird. It's so true, man. It really is. I like how 5-6 years ago everybody was like, "You're a conspiracy," like that. They don't listen, and then everybody like comes around eventually. They're like, yeah, I just thought about a lawnmower and it just showed up on my phone.
Right.
And you're like, we are like this.
We are the hottest commodity, the digital you.
It's crazy.
Todd, what pops up in your algorithm when you see this? Like you go to Google search and stuff like that, because I know that you're doing two things. One, you're basically logging in all different sports. And then 2, you're also just like a video game.
I mean, what search do you want to like? What do I get if I swipe right on here and get my Google News?
Yeah.
Do you get actual ads for power washers?
No, I don't anymore.
Is that simulator game?
You got a beef jerky weekly? That just like.
Well, I will now.
No, sorry, I said it out loud.
No, Lindy, I don't know if you saw it. Like we had him on stream once, and he had that power washing video game going on. It was utterly transforming. We're just like.
Power Wash Simulator.
It's
they
amazing.
Just came out with
relaxing.
Warhammer 40K DLC, so you can clean Mechanus and.
Do you want?
Of course they did.
Guts. Do you want to talk about that next? Like the video game of the week? Is there something that's buzzing right now that for gamers?
What's the one that's been hot?
No.
What's the Starship Trooper game that everybody freaks out about? It's like not
Starship.
Helldivers. Is that still hot?
Too.
I still want to play that.
It's still hot, but it's still hot for the wrong reasons.
Oh.
Why? What's the wrong reason?
Well, so Helldivers 2 was an amazing game put out by Arrowhead Studios that they have worldwide phenomena, like especially for a sequel that was a small like Xbox arcade game.
Yeah.
To come out 10 years later with an over-the-shoulder shooter that's just about like this made-up intergalactic war. So what had happened was they made worldwide release, sold worldwide, no restrictions, anywhere globally on PC.
Okay.
Sony decided that wasn't going to work for them. And they wanted everybody to sign up for PlayStation accounts, which on the top of your head, you're like, Sony game, PlayStation account. That doesn't sound like so far out. Half of the world, it's just you can't get a PlayStation account, whatever their country laws are. The region
that's
locks,
the drama I heard about
that.
recently. Okay. Yeah.
So literally half the world that have already been sold the game just gets cut off from it.
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
And it was bad. And so all Sony did, the internet rose up obviously because this was bad. We want all of our gamer brothers and sisters to be able to play these games.
Yeah.
And so when Sony backed off after a massive review bombing of the game, which it wasn't Arrowhead Studios. The makers of the game had nothing to do with it.
Right. That's 100% on Sony.
It was all on Sony there. And they decided that they said, fine. You don't need the PlayStation accounts, but they haven't removed the country restrictions. So it's still half of the world that just can't sign into the game that bought it. A lot of them, Valve and Steam, to their credit, has refunded everybody globally that got cut off from the game. They just, here you go, here is your refund.
Where did Ghost of Tsushima fall into that?
Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut just came out on PC. And it fell into that too. But the weird thing about that, it got all the same restrictions at the same time. Sony peeked up and went, oh, wait, we should do it to this one too. But the problem with that one, it's a primarily single player game.
Right.
It's only online aspects that it has is like a little asynchronous multiplayer thing that's where you're not directly interacting with people. So it's a bad look for Sony, and it is getting a large swath of the internet to go, I will never play Sony again, myself included, which makes me sad because I really like the Spider-Man games.
So you're not going to play Sony again?
I'm done with them until they get their act in line. I'm done with Sony.
Even though it didn't affect America whatsoever, just affect the rest of the world.
It didn't affect me at all. I won't play those. I won't buy another one. I'll still play it because I'm this close to the end of Horizon Forbidden West, and I'm like, I just gotta finish.
I have a compromise.
I'm just at the end of it. And it bothers me that I really enjoy Helldivers. It is genuinely a really good game. And so, do I feel conflicted when my friends are like, "Hey, we're playing Helldivers"? Like, yeah, I do, but
I'm standing strong.
But I'm not gonna. Am I gonna buy another Sony game? No.
Right.
I was gonna buy Ghost of Tsushima. Not buying that. I was gonna buy the Spider-Man game when that came back around in another 7 months. Not doing that now.
I don't know, man. Sony continues to put out good games, so it's gonna be hard to say no forever.
No, well,
I just play Diablo 4. And I play by myself because if I go online, a 10-year-old's gonna smash my confidence.
I know,
and tell him, somehow he's gonna bring my mom into it, and I just I don't have time.
I hate being called homophobic slurs by children.
When you hear their parents in the background.
Yeah.
Getting called the N-word on Fortnite has always ruined me.
Right.
I'm like,
Now you play online. Do you?
It doesn't happen. You can't communicate in Fortnite.
Oh yeah, you got called out on your joke, bitch. You don't really play Fortnite. You're at the gym, actually, bettering your life.
Just trying to be cool, man.
I just had an employee ask me. He goes, somebody called me this online last night, and it was anti-Semitic. And I was like, oh yeah, that's
Oh, we're back on here. I'll let you finish it here on here. Okay, so what were you saying, Lindy? We're at Rock 2.1 KFMA.
I was getting to the really sensitive words. Let's go on there.
I was actually, I had an employee ask me, he was called something online, and while he's playing online, and I was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, that's it's an anti-Semitic term. It's kind of like saying the N-word if you were Jewish,
right?
And he goes, but I'm not Jewish, and I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you. I apparently this person just likes blurting out, whatever. What'd you do? He goes, well, I headshot him. I was like, well, there you go.
There you go.
Problem solved. We're talking about video games, by the way, everybody.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So hence why I stay offline, because I just.
You and I agree on that.
Time. I just go play Diablo and kill a bunch of stuff. Like once every 3 months when I have time, and I'm happy.
Yeah, that always prevents me from doing the online gaming. Was all the smack talk by children towards me, and
it's not children. It's me.
I
stalk them.
You still do the online gaming. What are the games that you're doing? Like you're online with a community that you're like interacting and communicating with.
I mean, that's a very strange way to put things.
Is it not community?
I mean,
Gang of nerds,
but it's like I stick with my friends. Like I still play online with like Helldivers, but if I'm in an online game, the people that I don't know that I'm playing with are my enemies.
Yeah, okay.
What's your clan name, Todd?
Toxic Tacos.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I was thinking it was we bully beef.
Get beef. I can't be associated with that group.
That's true. He tries not to. He claims online that he doesn't know me, but he knows me. All right, we're going to continue the conversation here on the podcast broadcast, but coming back with a beef tip. And the beef tip today will help you if you have anger issues. I'm looking at you, Rico. Yeah, so you'll find out what your beef tip is after these words, or join us, youtube.com/beefvegan.
Everybody's coming for your clan now, Todd.
Toxic Tacos.
Whatever.
I love it.
It's all over the place.
That's a good name, dude.
We are anonymous.
I had one. What's called Tater Tot Riot.
Tater Tot Riot. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good band name. Yeah, I would do that. Here's a couple news stories I want to get to before we wrap up because we're going to do a short week, but it's stuff we didn't talk about on the air. There was a dude, a teenager, who was in a drive-thru at McDonald's, and he got a ticket. And the reason why he got a ticket in the drive-thru at McDonald's is because he went on his phone in the drive-thru at McDonald's. You saw this?
I saw this story. Yeah, he had the phone out for the McDonald's app that the people at the drive-thru ask you the first thing if you're using.
Yes. Yeah, this happened in Canada, Saskatoon.
Of course.
Yes. A motorcycle cop was behind the teen as the man inched up. The officer walked up to his car window and fined him for using his phone while driving. And the teen's like, I wasn't using my phone. I was just pulling up the app to order from McDonald's. And the cop is like, oh, my bad, sir. Well, here's a ticket for $580. Go fuck yourself.
To your crime, right?
Yeah. $580 is like, this is outrage, right?
Don't eat at McDonald's. It'll get you a ticket.
Right? Exactly. Do you have an app?
Local.
Do you have an
Don't
app
go
for
to
a drive-thru?
McDonald's.
No, you don't.
It's the truth from a certain
Well,
point of view.
Yeah.
That's how it goes now. It's okay. You could be sitting there in the drive-thru, have your joint lit in the pocket, but keep that phone down and below your belt. They don't want to see that.
Yeah.
But your vape, you can be
I need a
vape
lawyer.
Lord. Yeah, be a vape lord in a cloud, and you'll be
The
fine.
McLawyer.
McLawyer.
I'll make a lawyer.
Need a Happy Meal in the McLawyer.
And the other story that I did not get to this week that I want to on as I put in disturbed. I didn't realize my clock was all off. There's a mystery happening in Portland, Oregon. The mystery is canned food keeps inexplicably being rained down from a high rise. Right. So somebody,
What?
yeah, somebody is living in the high rise in Portland. Now, which of course, Portland right now is crazy, but that's in like areas of like, you know, the woods and shit like that. Now, this is a high rise building in downtown Portland, and somebody is deciding to take canned food, which is still sealed, and just throw it out the window and let it rain down on the general public below. And it is freaking people out because it's damaging property. It nearly has been hitting pedestrians. And despite these efforts by security and police, the culprit behind the bizarre and dangerous shower of tin cans from the 23rd story Ladd Tower remains 100% unidentified. They don't know who it is. They're getting increasingly scared too, as far as the residents, because now they're coming out. And usually you have an umbrella because you're in the Pacific Northwest because of rain.
Facts, lots of rain.
Yeah. And in fact, actually, since you live in the Pacific Northwest, a lot of times you don't even rock an umbrella because you're like, I'm just used to getting rained on.
Actually, as a native of the Pacific Northwest, if you're rocking an umbrella, that's how we identify a tourist.
There you go. Exactly.
What would be fantastic is if this person moved from Florida.
Oh, yes. I know. That's possible.
Chaos.
This is like if Chef Boyardee was a Batman villain.
Yeah.
Coming for you, chef.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's stories of one restaurant employee's car getting dented up and a chef narrowly avoiding an exploding can beside him. So it exploded on impact. Police believe the cans are coming from an upper level apartment, but lack probable cause to search units where canned goods are commonplace. Because what are you going to do?
You gotta go in like, this guy has cans, but this guy has cans. This guy has no cans, though. Well, he's not a suspect. He has no cans.
Yeah. You threw them all out the window, right?
I wonder if forensics literally had to get involved with that. Like, do they have to go for fingerprints on the can residue? That's
so if he throws alphabet soup and it explodes and you find a word, do you win something?
That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
He's sending messages.
They're piecing together the letters, right? Yeah, there's no idea. Potential deadly mystery persists. Please, for the general public's health and identifying the can throw or mount amid fears of serious injury. I mean, this is like a top story in the Portland area. Our news is reporting on this, and this is essentially this person is terrorizing the community simply by just throwing cans out their window.
It's one building, right?
Yeah.
They should literally just get a net set up around the whole thing, collect cans for a food drive, and just say thank you with the big sign. Like,
there it is.
The best.
There it is. Food drive. Preventing murder by like canned food.
Donations.
Food
Flipping
drive.
around.
Yeah.
Giant net. Amazon Prime.
There you go. Simple as that. Managers have notified tenants and they're urging them to safely record any suspicious activity to aid the investigation. It's happened so frequently that it is an ongoing problem for that area. Just imagine you spend that much money to live in a high rise and then you're just like, oh man, I had my DoorDash driver come up and get murdered by a can of food because he didn't know.
It's not even the good kind. It's the store brand.
Oh. I know. Speaking of murder, do you know that they're investigating Matthew Perry's death?
Are they?
Yes.
Like suspicious death?
Yes. Yeah, I like your eyes light up. Yes.
I studied his tweets. Yeah.
Well, so what did his tweet say?
No, it's just typical Hollywood cryptic stuff where he's like alluding to a few things and people are piecing it together. Like maybe he had an insight on the pedosphere and see what's going on with that Epstein stuff.
Okay.
So,
well, here's the criminal investigation is being reported by TMZ. Perry died primarily from high levels of ketamine, which was used to help his depression, anxiety, PTSD.
There's his inside track right there.
Well, it gets more complicated than that, though. But there's reasons why he was prescribed that. It's a very Hollywood prescription. They're like, try ketamine. Now, he'd been undergoing the ketamine infusion therapy, but the amount found in his system was too much to have come from that. And so the LAPD and the Drug Enforcement Agency are trying to determine where he got it. Now, of course, he's a Hollywood celebrity. He definitely has a ketamine hookup. But they're also saying they're being aided by the post office. This is a multi-department investigation. They're all collaborating together to try to solve this, because if Perry got the drugs through the mail, they should be able to track who sent it to him. And so they don't know whether or not this criminal investigation is going to be like a murder or a drug circuit.
This should not be a murder. Even if somebody sent him bonus ketamine, I'm not blaming anybody but
you
Perry
guys
for getting it.
Do you guys know what his last tweet was?
What? This ketamine smells really good.
He went, this Boeing flight is really sketchy.
If it's through the mail, doesn't that turn it federal?
Yeah. Yeah, that's they say. But a lot of most drugs go through the mail, and they don't really do that good of a job testing things out. They just ship it along, especially with competition uprising. The USPD,
they don't have time to care.
Yeah, it's like whatever. I mean, it's junk mail or junk in the mail. So either way, we're the post office. Thank you for using.
Thanks for coming in. You need a stamp.
Yeah. So, so the beef tip is going to be how to keep your anger in check. What do you know what your burger of the month's going to be next month?
Maybe.
Oh, you don't want to reveal? Okay, that's fine.
I did save this for the stream. I totally forgot.
We're testing.
Show.
I can tell you that it will be. I'm doing a collab with one of my employees and something she does, and it's gonna have fry bread buns.
Honestly, I dream about fry bread concept. Sandwiches, burgers, things like that, because in this region especially, I don't think enough is being done with fry bread. So I want to try your fry bread buns. I think that's brilliant. But again, like I've honestly been like, there has to be ways, like if you go think like a fry bread cheesesteak or something, like any of those kind of things. Fry bread is of this region. Again, that it's just sadly underutilized because fry bread is delicious.
And the way she does it is it's so good. She's on Facebook. She has Fry Bread Fridays, and it's her name's Christina, and it's so good. So I'm trying to encourage her to do more. So
So does it look like a bun? Tastes like fry bread?
We haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay.
We're actually testing this next week, and so
do you use your deep fryers for that, or do you have to like pan fry it?
No, I will be using a dedicated deep fryer.
Okay, so, just for that. Nice.
Yeah. So essentially, the burger will get ordered. We'll hand press it out.
Yeah,
and then cook it right there. So
love it.
Tell the streamers again. I got some comments. They're going like, that looks so good.
Oh, it is.
What's
good.
this burger again? That's Jimmy's.
That's Jimmy's snack. So it's red jalapenos, fire roasted green chilies, pepper jack, lettuce pickle, the thunder bun. It's 2 green chorizo patties, smashed patties, an over easy egg, and then I made a tomatillo and chiltepine garlic cream sauce.
Yeah, that's Lindy describing Jimmy's snack, the burger of the month that you can get at Thunder Bacon Burger Company, our sponsor today for Tap Out. I'd like to thank everyone for listening. Before we wrap things up and enjoy an extended weekend, because my daughter's graduating tonight and taking the next couple days off. Yes, thank you. We'll be back Tuesday morning. But here's your beef tip of how to keep your anger in check. Okay, so because people get angry easily, and I'll give you 5 things that can help you keep your anger in check. Tip number 1, take care of yourself. That's what they say. Tip number 2, avoid known provocations. Tip number 3, I'm looking at you, Todd. Be less judgmental. All right.
I don't like that.
Tip number 4, channel it productively. And the 5th and final tip, according to experts on how you can keep your anger in check, is seek help if you need it. And sometimes you just got to admit that you need help. And how do you know if you need help? Well, like say a automatic door didn't open fast enough for you. You kicked it in. You might need help with your anger issues, right? I don't know. All right, so that's all the time.
Or you fixed it.
Oh,
or that.
Well, I like to thank everyone for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/beefvegan. Robin Nash is up next with tickets for Megadeth. Lindy, Thunder Bacon Burger Company. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure, gentlemen. Thank you.
Todd and Rico, thank you as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and rock local. Later.
Upon a side of beef, soon will come
Babuski,
and
2
end
fingers
to
of
all
beef.
your grief. But if you've been mean or kind of bad, I will knock out
I
all
talked into
your
ChatGPT again. I'm like,
teeth.
do worse. Oh, you want it harsher? Fine, let's do this.